Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and as I'm working on another Haunted Gaming episode, this might be the most Haunted Gaming mini, or maybe the most maxi I've ever had for a while, because this topic is incredibly real, potentially, and it is scary. Now, for me to start off, the deep web, Fortnite, and organized, activities that are of the nefarious kind, maybe a strong title if I make that the case, but let me really focus on why it could be real, and it's a topic that I wanted to cover because this kind of stuff really piques my interest. Obviously, the deep web does, Fortnite maybe not so, but if you toss in some money laundering, then Muda's going to get his PP excited. Not over the money laundering. Let's not fucking focus on that one, dude. So for those of you who've been following the news, Fortnite made it again. Fortnite made it into the news for obvious reasons. It's one of the world's biggest games, but it made it into the reasons because there were some deep web postings on many of the deep web vendor sites, a lot of their marketplaces, where people were selling V-Bucks. And a lot of people kind of linked this to the idea that organized crimes, organized criminal units, which are the ones sort of pseudo-advertising themselves on these marketplaces, are using this V-Buck trend to basically launder their money. We all know V-Bucks are a big trend. For those of you who don't know what a V-Buck is, V-Bucks are the in-game microtransaction currency for Fortnite. So whenever you want to buy those cool skins and copyrighted dance moves, you can do so with these V-Bucks. And for all intents and purposes, V-Bucks are only able to be purchased from the Fortnite launcher on PC, the Apple Store on the iOS devices, Android's internal store that's offered through the game inside, and it actually, Xbox One store for the Xbox One, PlayStation Store for the PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch for the Nintendo Switch console, the storefront that they have on there. You have to go into the game and actively buy these V-Bucks yourself through Epic Games. I have no recollection of anybody purchasing these V-Bucks from outside external sources. These are all directly sold to you from Epic Games themselves. So let me squash that bug right there. So when you see a lot of these people buying V-Bucks, these packs or these generators, they're getting scammed 100%. I made a video on this a while back, and it was 100% of a scam. It's a complete scam. Now, the problem with this is Fortnite is now the biggest game in the world, and it is the very popular de facto choice of game with little children all over the world too. I've seen this myself. My aunt has very little children. They have iPads. What do they play on their iPad? Fortnite. It's free to download, free to play. It's a high quality game, and they're going to have fun playing it. They see all their favorite YouTubers play it, so all the kids are going to get down to it. And kids get enticed by colorful cosmetics, dance moves, all that. They may choose to get their parents to buy a V-Buck here and there and buy whatever they can on their store. That happens. However, kids don't have unlimited funds, so they're the ones that fall the most prey to a lot of these free Fortnite V-Buck scams out there. Now, when you go to the deep web, there are marketplaces that are available. There's Silk Road, which used to exist. There's Alphabet. There's all these marketplaces that we've seen, that we've covered, especially on the deep web browsing series. I know my deep web marketplaces. The problem with these marketplaces, what the mainstream media may not necessarily understand so much, is a lot of these are fakes. A lot of these do not work. A lot of them can be scams with fake listings just to entice people out of their bitcoins. It is risky as fucking hell to buy stuff off of the deep web because you probably won't get it. You can't trust the vendor services, you can't trust escrows, you can't do anything. There is a heavy amount of trust to be given, and a lot of the times that trust is misplaced and you end up losing your money. So that's why I never recommend buying shit off of the deep web anyways. It just is super shady to me. There's no system, there's no accountability to it. With full anonymity comes all the negative sides of it. So now you have these listings on these deep web marketplaces for V-Bucks from these supposed alleged criminal organizations that are using this front to launder their money. Now, let me get this straight. This is why at the beginning of the video, I actually consider this to be kind of true. Now, for those of you who have to understand this, criminal organizations all over the world make a lot of money. You can look at D Company in India, you can look at the Yamaguchi Gumi in Japan, you can look at many of the Italian mob fronts in the United States, you can look at a lot of these criminal organizations all over the world and the amount of money that they rake in. The thing is with crime, it's easy to make money. The problem is that money is fucking worthless unless it's laundered. So that's why laundering is oftentimes considered that MVP task in a criminal organization. What use is $10 million, for instance, if you can't use the $10 million because the police will know? So let me bring this back to the deep web, Fortnite, and money laundering. See, when I look at the world of internet game streaming, a lot of these people streaming Fortnite or playing video games, the big attract is seeing a lot of these donations pop up from now and time to time, right? And I've always wondered that, let's say, for example, you had $1,000 you wanted to launder, right? You went onto a Twitch stream, you had a network of streamers in a laundering network, like 10, 20 streamers that are playing some random BS game. You had $1,000 in Bitcoin that you wanted to launder. Let's assume that you converted that $1,000 into USD tokens, United States dollar variant of an online streaming website currency. So like Twitch bits, some XXX cam websites, funds, whatever you want to call it. Let's assume you were able to convert that Bitcoin through some gift card into a $1,000 chunk onto those websites, and you gave your network of streamers $100 here, $100 there, 50, 100, whatever you want to call it, 500 if you wanted to, break things up a little bit. And you took all that money, and even after a cut, you still have, let's say, $800 left. You pulled it together and you've laundered $800. All of that money went through the network processing of these big tech companies, which are getting bigger and more powerful as the days pass. Not only are they getting more big and powerful, but when they make money, they store it off-site, somewhere away from the US, somewhere away from regulations. So you're already reliant on these guys' massive, massive money networks to launder your money through. So I don't find this to be so hard to believe. But tying it all back to the situation with Bitcoins, Deep Web, Fortnite, and these V-Bucks scams, do I believe that there's an element of organized crime behind it? Absolutely. While you can't 100% prove it, I don't think you can 100% disprove what I just said. This is a big topic of contention for the world of online streaming right now, and as we move forward in technology, as technology gets stronger, more and more of these criminal activities are going to get more intense. More of these laundering networks are going to get more intense. And when you add it up all together, things are going to shift. It's going to shift to a more risk-free environment. And what's more risk-free than never having to show your face by using dead drops to sell drugs, getting Bitcoin from selling those drugs, using that Bitcoin and laundering it through online services like this, where you don't have to show your face as much, or you can hide behind a veil of proper anonymity if you do your things right. So when I see things like Fortnite V-Bucks being sold on the deep web, or being sold anywhere in general, through the use of cryptocurrencies, or even currencies that are outside the scope of massive, tax departments that exist for massive countries all over the world, it is shady to me. And again, may I reiterate, you cannot get V-Bucks for a cheaper discounted price. You have to buy them from Epic Games themselves. So if you know children that may fall for this, or even adults, because there are adults that will say, I'm saving, $200 buying this pack of V-Bucks. Point is, they've still gotten scammed out of their money, and they may have potentially contributed to a criminal organization using their ignorance as a way to launder their ill-earned money. So do I believe that this has an, stench of truth to it? Absolutely, without a doubt. And I've been sitting here thinking about it. It's kept me up for a while, and I wanted to articulate exactly why I believe that is a situation. But that's just me coming up with my conspiracy theory of the day. I just wanted to get that out there. I think when we look at as games getting popular, something like Call of Duty back in the day was as popular as Fortnite, but it didn't have the microtransactions or the loot boxes that we have nowadays, even with Call of Duty and every other game. So maybe that wasn't so scrutinized with the kids. But now we got a free-to-play game that rakes in a ton of cash through microtransaction purchases, skins, all this kind of stuff, and it may potentially be used by a network of illicit individuals to do something now naughty about it. I don't know. At this point, Epic Games has to step in. A lot of these tech companies have to step in, and more stricter regulations internally have to take place so this kind of stuff doesn't happen. It's pretty important to me, man. I don't like seeing this kind of shit, and I just wanted to get my point across. So I'm not going to get this video over 10 minutes because I don't really need to. And if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you dislike it, I am out.